So like, if you could be a 2004 era goth girl for a day, you'd do it, right? Like, wouldn't that be kind of like fun just for one day?
You know, I had a girl in high school who did that.
Yeah, but like just for a day, you get to like just switch bodies with a 2004 era goth girl and listen to.
What's so specific about the 2004
you get to
era
listen
goth girl?
to like Meteora and stuff all the time, and you get to like
I'd do it.
You get to post the DeviantArt and.
I mean, I'd probably take any chance to just jump into a different time period person's body.
Yeah, but
That'd
like
be
you
neat.
could be someone older because in 2004 I was only like 8, so I could instead be someone who's like 16. in
I would
2004.
absolutely do it. To
I
be
mean,
a
I was
hot
hanging
goth
out
girl
with the
for day?
2004 goth girls, so maybe
Yeah,
it's a little different.
You know 2004 goth girls better than I do.
Yeah, I had first-hand experience.
Do you know who would want to meet you if you became a 2004
Oh,
goth
no.
girl?
Okay, I don't. Maybe I don't want to.
Lego?
The guest of this show, it's Lego. You bastard. Oh my.
Lego.
Oh, God.
When did you come in?
He didn't. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Manga Race Community Happy Hour. My name is Simon, better known as Vacant. The little Bob Dylan-esque harmonica intro surely rings in. It's the bell that tolls when we know that Manimal is in the house.
It's the tolling bell rang by thundering hell or some nonsense like that.
Thundering Hell could be your goth girl name.
What kind of is that? Like my DeviantArt profile name?
Yeah, absolutely. Thundering Hell. I bet if we Googled it, there will absolutely be a DeviantArt profile that's called that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But Thundering Hell sounds like it could be like a kind of storyline that I'm making or something.
The Thundering Hell series. Hey, I might steal that idea. Heavy Rain needs a new name, yo.
It kind of works.
Let's get on that.
But yeah, hi, another episode. Here we go.
Another episode 121 in the books. Well, not in the books.
Yeah, don't say in the. Don't even
just
freaking
started.
say things like that.
We've just opened the book. We've just cracked the spine of this bad boy.
Dude.
And of course, we have tagged one Kanzarian out. I don't know what the Kanzian?
Kansan.
Kansan.
Oh,
We
Kansan.
Make
Kanzarian.
it too complicated. Just Kansan.
We've tagged one out for the other. It is, some would say, the more handsome and attractive one. Not me, but you know, I don't know.
I mean,
What
you
the-
should, because it's true.
Ooh,
Oh.
the person here. It's Coryn.
Hey, it's me.
I tried really hard not to crack my voice when I did that. I was like, I could feel it coming.
There's
It's
no
Coryn.
There's no profile on DeviantArt called Thundering Hell, so I'm gonna make that account right now.
Do it. Get it. It's got to be a Tumblr blog at least, or whatever the fuck you call a
Maybe.
Tumblr.
I don't know.
Tumblr follower.
I mean-
I don't know.
Tumblrs are blogs, I guess, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me look.
I kind of skipped the whole Tumblr
I mean,
generation
if
thing.
if your blog is
Thankfully.
just reposting other people's stuff, it's not a blog at all.
Hey, that's our Twitter. Don't diss
Yeah,
it.
that's why I don't
I
like
mean,
Twitter.
you can
either.
post news stuff.
Well,
No,
of course.
I'm not getting a Thundering House.
You could no. You can post it, but you make sure you add a one word or one sentence caption like
I think
so
it's-
much this.
I hate stuff like that. I don't
More
like
people
that's,
need to know.
that's why I don't like Twitter, because if it's just people reposting stuff, I don't give a shit. You know, if I'm
Oh,
gonna,
it's just a
if
bunch
I'm,
of-
if I'm
yeah.
gonna follow someone, I want to follow them to hear what they have to say, not just stupid reposts.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the real point on I don't know about Twitter. I'm not really a Twitter person, but on Tumblr, it's mostly about the communal memes.
Yeah,
All
fair.
about
Personally,
Yeah, I guess so.
and a lot of Harry Potter. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
not as much these days.
nah,
Maybe
might be
it's-
joining us a little later. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Lego might come in at some point because you never know. He might do. Like that is
Yeah, wouldn't
statistically
that
possible.
would be like the ultimate surprise.
Oh God, you bastard!
What are you talking about? He was already here.
He was. He's gone off now. No, he's in Germany. It's intermittent times for that internet. Cuts out frequently.
It's a long
But
way
we
back
have
to
an
Germany.
exciting show already for you. The winter season is in full swing. We promise we have watched more than 3 shows, which in our defense was all that was out at the time of recording last week.
Why would
so
you have to defend yourself about that?
I know no one's listening. No one cares.
It's not a contest to see how many shows you've watched.
It absolutely is. Have you not been on the Reddit anime thread?
I'm sorry. No, I don't go on Reddit, and especially not that part of Reddit.
Yeah. They're every day we stray further from God's light.
Well, we
Can-
already know that, but
Hey Reddit, can someone suggest to me the weirdest and most uncomfortable anime that they've ever seen? Why? Why do you want that?
Well, I mean, it's something to figure out, right?
You got to factor something, I suppose. Anyway, how was your week, Manimal? What did you get up to? What did you do? Can you walk us through your week?
Well, again, it's like, new job, new action going on. What did I do that was noteworthy this week? Did I do anything that was noteworthy this week? I feel like I had something to say before, but now I don't know. Shit. Okay, come back to me.
Okay, Coryn, how was your week?
Oh, skipping right ahead. My week is okay. I started my diet and exercise routine, so that's going well. I lost 4 pounds already. I don't know if that's healthy or not, but it's what happened.
That was the do you know when you go to a weight loss group and everyone claps when you get met? Congratulations, Coryn. Slimmer of the week.
Slimmer of the week. Hey, that's okay. I don't know. Yesterday was pretty uneventful. Watched a little bit of anime. Today was fucking insane.
Why?
Yeah.
What was the contrast?
Well, this morning I woke up, as I normally do, and I turn over and open my phone up, and I go to the homepage of the New York Times, because I do that every morning just to see what's going on. And the first thing that pops up on the website this morning, without any context, because there was no headline above it, it starts with a picture. It's the only thing I see when I first open the webpage is nuclear ballistic missile headed for Hawaiian Island. Seek shelter immediately. This is not a drill.
Oh, shit,
and I had a mini fucking heart attack thinking I was about to die in World War III.
No, that was some shit. I mean, I saw it, like, I saw this like that on like Imgur or whatever when someone posted a screenshot of that. And at first I was like, oh, that's funny. And then people were telling all these stories about how they had to rush to see their family in the last 5 minutes they'd be alive all across these islands. And I was like, oh, shit.
That scared the shit out of me. You need to start with a headline, please.
Yeah.
Oh. So, yeah, that happened.
That was pretty fucked. Turns out someone pressed the wrong button.
Someone pressed the wrong
Someone
button.
got beyond fired.
We're not joking. That's literally the explanation was a government official accidentally pressed the wrong button. There are fuck ups, and then there is, that level of fuck up.
Well, that's messing with so many people again who think that they have like 5 minutes to see everybody they love.
Because it was about 10 p.m. here in the UK time last night when this happened. So I saw it. The first I saw of it was a Reddit thread on Ask Reddit. It was like, how did you feel, and when you saw this? And it was actually people from Hawaii, and that really drove home. Just hearing these individual stories of people just saying, I just rang my mother and just said, I love her and stuff, and just these real I didn't know what to do. I just sat indoors. I didn't go to work, or all these weird things. It just really drove home that holy shit, that's people who genuinely thought that they were a missile was heading up their ass quickly.
Yeah, it's not fun to live at a time of impending nuclear apocalypse.
Thank Christ it was a false alarm.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way.
I reckon it was Jake Paul.
Probably.
Yeah,
had to one-up Logan
that's
somehow.
How he's going to top his brother, definitely.
Yeah. We pranked Hawaii!
Oh my god. Pranked the entire fucking country, more like.
And then just an asterisk, gone wrong.
Well, that's how we started the day. And I don't know, got a good workout in. I then inadvertently flooded my downstairs neighbor. Wasn't my fault.
Just
so
another day.
After working out a lot this week and working out this morning, my muscles were a little sore, so I thought, I'll draw a bath and I'll soak a little bit in the hot water. It'll be great, right?
Yeah, as you do.
No problems there. Of course, when I moved in here, the bath had the little flipper thing you do to close off the drain. It's gone, right? It didn't have that. It had a little cover thing over it, a little cover plate.
Okay.
And I thought, that's fine. I went out and I bought a little a drain plug you can just pop in any sort of bathtub. And I never really got around to taking a bath here. So this was the first time I ever tried taking a bath here. And I popped in my drain plug and I filled up the bath. And I got in it and it kind of drained to a certain level. And I thought, that's weird. But maybe the plug's leaking. I didn't think anything of it. So I finished my bath and I get out and I drain the whole thing. And then about 2 hours later, a dude knocks on my door, says he's from maintenance and wanted to know if my toilet flooded. And of course, I didn't put two and two together right away. That's because I'd taken a bath and I said no. And I figured there was probably some water leaking from the roof because we had snow this morning and last night. So I figured that's probably what it was. Some snow melt had somehow gone through the walls, kind of past me and got into their ceiling, whatever. And then a thought occurred. Yeah, a thought occurred to me a little bit later on to take a closer look at the bathroom, and I did. And I realized the little cover has a big ass chunk missing out of the bottom of it where you can't see it unless you're like underneath it, down, getting your head down in the bathtub. So yeah, I can't take a bath in mine because the water only extends to about 10 inches high.
I mean, you can have a shallow bath, a 10-inch bath.
Yeah, but that's not much of a bath you can just sit there and soak in, is it?
It won't do your muscles any good. Admittedly, no, that's a flaw.
That's kind of the flaw. So yeah, no more baths, and I'm just gonna keep that one to myself. Not mention it to the neighbors or the maintenance guy.
I'll mention it when we're there. I hope that's fixed. When me and Manimal come, we're sharing a tub together.
Yeah, you don't know that. No, I said you don't know if I'm gonna be there, so don't jinx anything.
Oh, you're coming. Shush.
I'd like to, but a lot of factors. Positive. There's a lot of factors involved in this.
There's always a lot of factors, but you gotta go with the mindset that you're coming, and then switch the mindset of, oh, I can't make it.
I'd rather go in the mindset
You're starting with the mindset of I probably can't go,
I prefer
which means
the
you're not
mindset of I can't do this, so I can be surprised if I can, instead of disappointed that I can't.
That's
okay. Fair enough. Well, guess who's joined us? It's Nairbons! Hey!
I've joined you. Can you hear the heater in the background?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I'll continue muting it. I'll be back in a second, and I'm not in a room with a heater.
Okay, no worries. Why Nair relocates and breaks his heater? Why don't you tell us what you did on your week, Manimal? Have you ever remembered, or do you need more time?
Yeah, I told you guys this before, but not on the show, I think. There's one website, genie.com, right? And I found my grandma's entire bloodline going to the 1600s, which was, like, pretty insane. You know? It's like, again, because I've been, like, way interested in this kind of stuff recently.
How many, just out of curiosity, how many generations, like, is that?
A lot. Like, I don't know exactly, but there's a lot of dedicated. This is a site. It's like Ancestry, but people are submitting the profiles basically, and there's a really dedicated project to logging every fin from the Karelia area. You know, so that's where family's been forever. They're all in the exact same town for centuries.
So you're a long time Finn then. Like you go back hundreds of years.
Half breed.
You're a half breed. Dirty hybrid.
Dirty hybrid. No, but yeah, and it's the same. It's the same on all sides. But it's just, I mean, it was suspenseful because of every click I was like, oh shit, I hope a Russian name doesn't show up. Please tell me a Russian name doesn't show up. and I was happy when one didn't show up. I was like, oh, thank God.
Why? Why were you so overtly offended that a Russian name would show up?
Because you know, then I would be like, oh shit. Well, I guess. Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make any difference in my life.
I was gonna say it's well.
It's like, well, I'm exactly the same person I was a minute ago.
Gonna have to rewatch Rocky and root for the other guy.
Basically. And I found out that there's a big secret of what my real last name is because it got changed 4 generations ago. And I found that out with like no effort at all, just by messaging somebody. I was like, oh shit. And it's really lame, so I'm happy it got changed.
So are you glad that it got changed to Goldman then?
Oh yeah, obviously it got changed to Goldman. No, it's just like it was like a really boring one, so I'm like, oh thank God that changed. So it's, you know, I think it's interesting to fill in these kind of blanks. Although again, it's weird because you see all these names and you're like, these are people that like I descend from, but they're just the names on a list like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what would it be again if I have kids? Like we mentioned this on the last episode. If I have kids and they see my name on the list and they listen to the bop bop because I don't have the bop bop for the other.
Because you're a world famous musician.
Oh yes, you know, like Finns are crazy. They're all insane secretly. You just don't really know it. So I'm sure there would have been things like that in the past, but you just never know.
Whereas now, the power of the internet has forever solidified the bop bop as part of your legacy.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's cool to know this stuff, though. It's like, I don't know, it gives me this weird feeling of wanting to be a better person in some way. That sounds odd, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, oh shit.
I kind of get where you come from, that sort of sense of responsibility and heritage.
There's not so much on the other side, because, well, my grandma's from, like, again, her whole family's the same place in Italy, They're just all chilling
Sometimes
out there.
it's easy to figure it out.
Yeah.
Dirty Italians. What else did you get up to? Or was that the only bit of detail that you wish to share?
Yeah, pretty much, because I can't think of really anything else to say.
Okay, no worries. Nah. Welcome back, if you're back. I don't know.
Yes,
Hey,
I am back.
how was your week? Nah.
Good. I am settling more into my job. I think we established I was some sort of furniture pornographer back then.
Whoa, pornographer! You did not say that part.
We did. He was the furniture casting couch agent.
Oh
or something.
shit! Right.
Yes.
Right. I forgot. Yeah.
He sets
Oh,
up all the
yes.
gigs.
He's in
Furniture
charge of cleanup.
pornographer, extraordinaire. I fix the holes.
Extraordinaire! Extraordinaire!
Oh shit! That's genius.
But yeah, not a whole lot done during the week. And...
Not a whole lot. He fixed the holes. Oh, you're on fire.
Oh boy,
I'm going to stop now. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So today, well, actually yesterday, the Dragon Ball Fighters beta started, but you needed to be a pre-order owner in order to get into that beta, which I was not. So I just waited until today when nothing worked. They are getting absolutely hammered on that beta. The one time I actually got into a lobby, I went through the training. It was very fun. That is a great tutorial. It is fun to play around. It is fast and responsive. And the version of like a hyper-kinetic fighter, like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of thing, but I can track it and follow it, that is going to be dynamite as a game. When it works, because it doesn't. I've spent about a collective hour and a half fiddling with it and could not connect to anyone. Nobody's playing that game today because everyone's trying to play that game today. Instead, I downloaded the Dissidia Final Fantasy PS4 beta. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's okay. Did you play it, Simon?
No, I did not.
It's good. I don't know. I was a fan of the PSP game back in the day. Played a whole lot of that. Adding 2 more people to each side makes it a god dang mess. Your biggest enemy is the camera, because you will focus in on the person who's like 100 yards away and not zone into the dude who's 2 feet to your left about to smack you with the giant sword. That's not a good game.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, shitty camera work can ruin the best of games. I have memories. Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PS2. I have words for you, my friend.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or anything on really a 3D game on the PSP when they hadn't quite figured out that lack of a second control stick.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the PSP,
because they had that figured out on the 64, but it apparently all that knowledge just dropped when you went to the other one stick controller.
Trying to drive or trying to race in Liberty City Stories GTA on the PSP was a fucking nightmare.
The one Battlefront game on the PSP, like, it was fine at the time, but I can't play it anymore. It's a disaster to even think of
that game was amazing.
No,
it was good.
Any of the first-person shooters they tried to do on that system.
I remember not having a problem on that one, but
well, yeah, I did because you didn't have a problem because I would just adapt to it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna figure out how to do this. But if I try to play it now, I'll just be like, oh shit, this is terrible. I don't want to touch this ever again.
I suppose as well, you were playing. It wasn't online. It wasn't not competitively, but you weren't against other people. I didn't
play anything online in the PSP.
No.
I don't think you could.
No.
To be honest,
I did enjoy the Metal Gear games on there.
Yeah, there was some awesome games on the PSP.
I think
there really was.
If we're gonna say that there's 100% PSP time, probably only 15% of that time was devoted to games, though, for me.
Okay, yeah, because I remember going through, and unfortunately, my computer could only ever download WMV format songs with Windows Media, and so I would go around and like beg friends with flash drives to give me any MP3s, and I would listen to those.
Yeah.
Or going on to Google Video because they would let you download things on there. And
friggin' throwback to Google Video when that existed.
Yeah.
People used to use Google Video to upload longer videos, so they'd have like a preview on YouTube of like, guys, watch my 20-minute movie on Google Video.
Oh yeah, when YouTube was like, was it 10 or 15 minutes that the limit was?
It used to be 10 minutes.
Pretty sure it was 10.
Yeah.
It was 10 minutes at a time, and then they bumped it to 15, and then bumped it again, obviously, but before that, people would upload stuff on Google Video. That's
I remember
viable.
Getting my beefy 2 gigabyte Memory Stick Pro Duo for the PSP and downloading chunks of Mystery Science Theater movies to watch, in bed at night.
Oh yeah. Well, again,
you could do so much shit with the PSP.
Fucking PSP memory cards
my
cheap.
My PSP started it all. That's where I downloaded and watched the first episode of Gurren Lagann. I downloaded it one night and watched it the next morning. That started it all right there. Almost. Wow, this year that'll be 10 years ago. I'm having a crisis inside.
What is this pile of shit? Give me Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I did remember something. If you go to the library here and you get the book about the Polish people in the city, you'll get a free buy one get one latte coupon for Tim's that expires in a month. So go get on.
Wait, what?
I put a Tim Hortons coupon in the book about the Polish people from the city.
Right. Okay.
I sent a video of that.
We can't reveal the location, but if you are in the if you are in Canada, check every local library.
Yeah, just every local library across the country. It might take you your whole life, but just do it anyway and get this coupon that expires in February.
If you go to Nunavut and the only library there, I'm sure you'll find a coupon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just did the reveal. I didn't mean to. But
shit.
There's only one library in Nunavut.
I'm down here in Baffin Island, just having a good time. It's no trees.
Down in.
Oh shit! That reminds me. Again, I saw an argument today or the other day with someone from here and someone from Nunavut. Someone from Nunavut came in, and there was a point like 2 weeks ago where we were the coldest spot in all of Canada, which is really crazy when you think about it. But it was like really insane. And he was like arguing with this guy about if it's colder here or there in Nunavut, and they were actually like debating about this. And I was like,
how heated was the argument?
It wasn't heated, but it could have gotten heated. Like you could picture easily someone would have started yelling at the other one. Like it was almost.
Not listen here, motherfucker.
Yeah, we have no trees.
One guy said it was cold, and the other was just having none of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Two Canadians. Two Canadians fighting over the cold.
I love it because even if you win that debate, you don't win that debate.
Yeah, what are you getting out of that? Okay, well, finally, I put him in the hospital. That means I'm right, and this place is colder.
Yeah,
what you gain from that?
You're like, wow, great. It's good to know that we're colder here. That's totally something that everyone wants. Even though I'm so sick.
Thanks, pal.
That's what the thing I hate more than this weather is the people who talk about it all the time, and that's all they can ever freaking talk about. It's just, it's so cold. I hate it so much here. Oh, shut up. You deal with this.
You were born in
life.
Canada.
You
exactly.
If you live here, you freaking deal with it. You just freaking shut up and stop talking about it all the time. My God.
That's like being in England and complaining about how dreary and grey it is. That's what it is. It's grey.
You live.
That's
here.
what we get.
Freaking deal with it. I mean, yeah.
That's what England is for.
It's shit. I don't like it. But I deal with it. That's what you got to do.
Got to adapt. You got to deal with it.
Or move to LA.
I'm more miserable. I'm the winner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a strange sort of logic.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was like, first of all, someone from Nunavut's here, and he's trying to scout a better place to live, and that was just funny that he came here of all places.
You wouldn't last 10 seconds here, son. It's the coldest place in Canada today.
No, only in that one day, it was the coldest.
You might have to deal with it 364 days, but this one day, you better bring a jacket.
I don't know how you became the coldest place in all of Canada, considering your country extends into the Arctic fucking circle.
It's crazy, but maybe we'll talk. Maybe it was mainland Canada, not including the islands of Nunavut, which go all the way up.
Oh, you should have brought that fact up. You would have absolutely bitch slapped that guy's
I wasn't the one
argument
debating
down.
with him. But...
No, but that's the best part. You just throw in some fact that fucks everything.
This here's the coldest place in all Canada. Are you measuring up north? Oh, no, we should probably get on that, though. That's a good point.
That could be. No, it just counts. I think it may have just counted mainland Canada. I'm not sure, actually, but that's a real fact. Because it was like at least minus 40 here, and it was only like minus 30 in Iqaluit and Whitehorse and stuff.
Fair enough. As for my week, then, I'll get on to stuff. I actually did some stuff. Before we go forward, we will say a happy 1-year anniversary to our friends, Lexa and Laura at the Manga Forum. It's their 1-year anniversary podcast that they put up recently at some point. So, happy anniversary to them. Go watch them for a more professional podcast. But as for my week, I listened to that. It was a good show. So listen to that. We'll include a link below. I watched Jumanji, the remake. I went to watch that at the cinema. Yeah, with The Rock, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. And you know what?
Because me and Nair talked about that on the preview in 2016.
Did you really? Has anyone seen it then, first and foremost? No. Has anyone seen Jumanji? What are your expectations of Jumanji?
I don't even know what it is.
I expect it to be not good.
It's a Sony... Remember, it's a Sony Pictures production, Columbia Studio.
Is it?
It was... Partly because my expectations were so low after like Ghostbusters and stuff, I really enjoyed it. It was a decent enough movie. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I mean, I thought it looked fun, if not great, at least fun.
It's not great. No, it's not a great movie, but it was a good movie. It's completely changed. Disregard the entire plot of Jumanji. It's not a reboot. It's set, Go on, sorry.
It is a reboot of the Jumanji franchise.
I guess.
It's not like a remake.
No, it's not a remake. No, it's almost not. Well, it's almost a sequel. It's kind of a sequel.
It's a soft reboot.
Yeah, there's some things in story that happen that are sort of a sequel. Like, for instance, the very beginning of it picks up where at the end of the original Jumanji, they throw it into the ocean and it washes up on a beach. That's where it picks up from. Someone finds it on the beach and picks it up and takes it home. And then, because it's a board game and it's 1996, no one gives a fuck. So no one cares about it. He's busy playing on his I did enjoy playing, which I always like doing in a Sony production. Spot the Sony products. So Sony phone, PlayStation, Sony laptop, Sony camera, all those kind of things. In the first 2 minutes, it was just rapid fire for all the Sony tech. But yeah, they pick up the board game. It realizes it's getting no love and no attention because this guy's busy with his video games, and then it turns into a video game and console. One gripe about it. It doesn't turn into a PlayStation, doesn't turn into a PS1 game. It turns instead into some unknown console that looks like a SNES. It makes no sense. Just turn it in. It's watching the PlayStation.
I think the idea is like in the original movie, the kids find, it's just a weird old board game. So now it's also got to be a weird old console.
Yeah.
Because if this group of modern day high schoolers found this thing and it was like a PlayStation 4, they'd be like, I never heard of this game coming out. Where did this come from? But if it's a weird old thing that's kind of before their time.
Yeah, because it's basically set in 1996 for the first little bit. Guy gets trapped in a game because it turns into a video game. Fast forward 20 years later in 2016, and we've got high school kids. They find it, and it's arcane and all that. So the characters, they're trapped in a video game, and The Rock and Jack Black and Kevin Hart. I was going to say Chris Brown then for some reason instead of Kevin Hart. Jack Black and Chris Brown. Different. Little bit different. Probably would have been useful in the jungle, though, because we know he's got a punch or two in him. So, there's that.
2007 jokes.
Bringing them back, baby. Doesn't matter that they're 11 years old. But yeah, they're the avatars that they are. So they have their own strengths and weaknesses and skills that they have. And it was a fun adventure movie. I didn't think of it as Jumanji, per se. It was just a fun movie. It was very by the number. Like, a lot of the dialogue was really on the nose, and it wasn't anything that was exceptional.
Was there any puns about either video games or being in the jungle?
Well, there was one. The main character was the.
Wait, no. Did somebody say game over?
No.
Oh,
well,
thank God.
Not as a pun. Not as a pun. They did the little life system. Do you know when they had 3 lives, like a little tattoo that had the 3 lines?
Oh.
So every time they died, they only had them 3 lives. And it was really obvious where they were going with it and like how they were introducing. But it was a fun little plot device. And yeah, like I say, it was an enjoyable movie. I thought it was quite fun. So if you were putting off going watch Jumanji, I'd say it's worth watching. It's fun. It's not a masterpiece. It's not amazing, but it's good fun. It's good comedy.
There it is.
Because Jack Black is one of the girls, the popular girl. So he's just running around surprised that he's got a penis and needs to be taught how to piss. It's quite funny.
Oh.
But yeah,
Look,
I watched
teaching
that.
Jack Black how to pee is someone's fetish.
That.
You mean
also-
it's not everyone's fetish?
Not everyone, but it's someone's.
Yeah, he gets a boat because it was a 12A and there was quite a lot of penis-related jokes.
That's what Thunderous Hell was writing back in 2004. She watched like School of Rock and was like, you know what would be a really good story?
What if Jack Black had amnesia and couldn't, or maybe he was a girl trapped in a boy's body?
And it makes sense. School of Rock came on in 2003, so it
Wait!
makes sense of the storyline.
J.J. Abrams is making a live-action Your Name. Jack Black should be casted as the male lead,
I mean,
and then
he's too old for that, but I'd still accept it because it's
I don't
Jack
care.
Black.
I want Jack Black pretending he's a 15-year-old school kid
Honestly,
or something.
Me too. Like,
Just put in there.
like I don't care how stupid that'd be. If it's Jack Black, I'm okay with that.
Who would be the
Really-
female lead? No, because you can't have a 15-year-old girl, and that'd just be weird.
I would love to see a movie where it's set in high school and they're all canonically teenagers, except they're all played by like obviously little old actors, like Gary
Morgan
Oldman
Freeman.
walking around,
Oh yeah, like
like
what you're
pretending to be
looking
the
for-
cool skater kid.
but they're just way too
So
old.
you want to
though.
watch any show that's currently on CW?
Yeah,
No,
but
I mean like
they're way too old.
they're way too old. Not like he's obviously
Yes.
30. I mean they're like 50s.
So like Robert De Niro walking around with like the one-strap backpack.
Yeah, just the entire high school, just old actors.
I like.
I'm Morgan Freeman, and I have forgot my homework.
Yeah. Can you imagine like how would you if you're teaching a class and you had Morgan Freeman in your class, like how would you even speak?
Well, he's
He's
got
trying
a.
to ask Patrick Stewart to the prom and he can't get the words out.
What's up? What's Patrick Stewart? What's his buddy's name there?
Ian
Hulk
McKellen.
Hogan.
I don't know. There's like that bromance he has with that one guy.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, right.
I wish it was Hulk Hogan, though.
I would love Patrick Stewart and
By the
Hulk
way,
Hogan to be
Nair.
friends.
By the way, Nair, I'm still laughing at what you said last week of like, hello, I'm from the land of the rising sun, Diasmal.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
No.
Prom is right around the corner,
No.
and you want to
No.
be on the arm of the 24-inch pythons.
No, it was the way that Nair was vocalizing Diasmal.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
Diasmal
I'm from the
had
land
a
of
male
the
voice.
rising sun. I don't know. Say whatever.
That was in last episode. I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it. It's funny. And add it to the book of Nair impressions of 2018.
Yeah.
Just,
Officially off to a good start.
I don't know. Coryn mentioned old people, and the only one that came to mind was Rodney Dangerfield, but he died in 2004?
It's been a
Oh.
while.
I mean,
All
you
right, we're
have to
gonna
go.
haul up a bunch of dead celebrity corpses.
Well, I mean, we have to get David Hasselhoff. He'd drive Kit into the parking lot all the time.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
David Hasselhoff would be the kid who sits at the back next to the window.
No,
He's
He's
absolutely
the cool one.
he'd sit in Kit in the parking lot all the time.
Yeah, he's the one who's selling cigarettes like around
Oh,
behind the
yeah.
bike shed.
Yeah. He's the cool kid with the leather jacket.
He's that scene in
household.
What's that one Adam Sandler movie where he shows up and he's listening to REO Speedwagon in like his car, but it's like the 90s and no one gives a shit? What's that movie?
Billy Madison?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur of Adam Sandler films, sadly.
That scene amuses. Well, that's when he was good.
Well, you're talking about old people going through school, so Billy Madison is what's on the mind.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Which is probably why Rodney Dangerfield, because he did Back to School. Yeah.
I did enjoy. I enjoyed 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill because that was kind of our era going back to school. And I was like, holy shit, these guys who were like late 90s.
Did they make a sequel to that?
22 Jump Street. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was probably bad, but I don't remember it.
It could be good. I don't know.
I think it was fine. I don't know. I never watched either of those films, but I think they were both well received.
22 Jump Street worked well as we realized this is a sequel that doesn't need to exist, and they constantly poke fun at that. They found an angle for it, and it ended up being pretty good.
Okay, it was famous for My Name is Jeff.
My dog with the squeaky toy again.
Wait, that's where My Name is Jeff comes from?
Yeah, that's the second film. My Name is Jeff.
Okay, I know. I definitely... Wait, this is the one where they go to that one, like, party in some place like Mexico or something like that.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, I watched that movie.
Spring Break.
Yeah.
Other than Jumanji, go watch Jumanji. It's okay if you want to, or don't. Don't give a fuck really what you do. I also did something I'd never ever done before, and that was wall climbing or bouldering or something. So never done it before. Went with my friend, who he's like, oh god, we're going to be killing after this. We'll probably last about half an hour. He's quite an active dude. I am not. I have not done physical activity or gym work or anything for probably well over a year and a half. Now. So I was like, your level of fitness, like when he's going, yeah, I'm going to be knackered. I'm like, well, I'm going to be dead. So just enjoy that. But we went and did it. It was kind of fun. Like we're going to go next Wednesday because it was hard. It was not really high walls. Like it was probably about the height of a normal house. Like I don't know. I've just realized that you guys live in apartments and shit like that.
I don't.
Height of a house.
We know what a house is.
Do you know these houses? They have
you guys
doors.
ever heard of houses before?
Let me tell you about something we have here in the UK. It's called a house.
When did you guys invent that, and why haven't you brought it here yet?
Oh, these lovely little houses. These hamlets, as we call them. But no,
just to clarify that, we're talking about the big, like, gray walls with the little colored nubs on them. Basically.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Rock climbing walls.
Not outdoor. Yeah,
we just call them rock climbing walls.
Yeah, like rock climbing. So we went to do that. And it was fun. Like I say, it was kind of good. Discovered that he's a lot better going across. I'm a lot better going up. The problem was after about an hour and a half, when your grip is gone, because they were like, the grip is the first thing to go, because my legs are the only muscular thing on me, really. Like, I've lost all muscle mass on my arms now or everywhere else. So, like, my grip was the first thing to go. 13 years of masturbation have not trained me for wall climbing, let's just say.
I mean, jerking off isn't like something you do like for a long period of time, though. So it's not like you'd get buffed from that.
Maybe you don't.
You say that.
Well,
maybe you don't.
Yeah. There's always the frick. What's it called?
If you don't consider 87 seconds a long time, then I've got news for you, sir.
No. I know of techniques, but I'm just saying.
Save it for the episode.
I know, man. I know kung fu.
I know kung fu. I know dick kung fu. That's all I've been raised on, my friend.
Oh, gotcha.
But
if you ever need to climb a rope, you probably have that art of firmly grasping it, but not too firmly.
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp it.
I feel like firmly grasp it is like another just bad character name.
I was going to say firmly grasp it is like a pun from this old people high school. Old people high is firmly grasp it is that's one of the Stooges.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the wacky racers. You've never seen the show Wacky Racers?
I have,
but
I don't think there was one called Firmly Grasp It.
Okay, maybe he's like Snidely Whiplash's sidekick or something.
Snidely Whiplash.
But yeah, that was fun. Rock climbing. The one scary bit, because it wasn't ropes or anything, I was expecting to be like tethered to something and like have ropes. No, they just did. They just went, here, climb up like this. There you go. Go climb. And
Yeah, you'd think you'd have rope. Or at least pads at the bottom to fall onto.
We had crash mats, but they weren't good crash mats. And there was a point where I got to the very top of the wall, like just before we left. We did like one last climb, and I got to the top, and then realized that my grip is giving out on me, and I can't see an obvious way down because obviously you're trying to like map your route down, and you're like, I'm kind of stuck here. And it must have only been about 20 seconds in reality, but it felt like 10 minutes as I was just clinging to this wall going, right, I've either just got to fall and accept the damage and take the fall damage and hope that I'm okay, or I've got to like shout for help and just hope they have a ladder to come and get me or something.
They must have something.
Yeah, must be a contingency plan for absolute novices, because there was them knobheads, with the ponytail, and they had tape on the fingers and chalk on the hands, and they're just like making it look dead easy and doing all yoga stretches before.
I do this every day, chap.
Yeah, like deliberately waiting on the wall next to you just
They probably eat oatmeal for breakfast every day.
What's wrong with oatmeal for breakfast?
With their protein shakes.
Yeah, there is. Down near where I grew up, between the towns of Derby and Wichita, there is an old grain silo that they converted to a giant rock climbing wall.
Oh, that's cool.
That sounds cool. Well,
terrifying.
Because by the time I get there, I'm going to be a rock climbing pro.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 10 stories up, man. You don't want to go on that.
I don't know if I said this on the show, but like, somebody I know told me a story that I really want to do one day. He went to this one like abandoned farm or whatever. He climbed to the top of a silo and took a big shit down it, and said it was one of the best experiences of his life. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool, because he's big on this. He likes
story shit related.
No, he's big on this. He's like, yeah, whenever I go somewhere like anywhere cool in the woods, I just like to take a shit. Like it's just like he just likes to take shits in like the woods and stuff like that.
You have a weird friend.
Is this where you get it from? Is this where you're influenced?
No, I only met this guy a few months ago.
I learned it from you.
No.
I learned it from you, Dad.
No, the whole shit thing goes back a long time.
I just want to climb on the highest thing in the world and take a shit.
I love the fact that was the story. I was like, you know what? That would be cool. I'd be down to do that.
There's so many questions. Did he climb it for the sole purpose of taking a shit, or did he just fancy a shit?
No, because he said that he likes whenever he's in a place like that, he thinks it's just like an opportune thing to take a shit. Like he's like, I'm here, so I might as well just take a shit down the silo.
He just has one in the chamber at all times.
He's one in the chamber for whenever he goes on an excursion.
Whenever he sees anything of a mild altitude, he's like, better start cooking one up now, baby.
I mean, he also likes to go to the abandoned mill with one of my friends and just throw stuff down it and into the lake and stuff like that. So, it's just what you do when you're bored.
This is what you do in Canada. We roll hoops down the road. We take shits off silos. Well, there you go.
I just wouldn't climb to the top of one of those things. I've seen too many like collapsed ones, man.
Oh, I know. That'd be scary. That'd be way scary.
Yeah.
Because you could
not as scary as a ballistic missile, but almost. I mean, scary.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know, but yeah. Wait, Vacant. I'm surprised. You usually like to make stupid, timely jokes. I guess you could say this is a shithole podcast.
Hey.
Bam, let's get into the news. What you got? You got some great story to tell me, don't you?
Okay, I've got some news.
What was it you were teasing him about?
Okay, right. When I say great story, it's not a great story, but it is great to you, Manimal.
Yes, I know. I could figure this.
Because it's one of those things that we made a joke about specifically because it's never been done before, never will be done before.
Oh, shit.
But until I saw this headline, coming of age anime film, Let Me Eat Your Pancreas reveals early fall debut.
No!
Yeah. There
what?
No! You're joking.
You have read that right.
You can't be serious.
Yes. So it is called.
We built up all that meme power and wasted it on this shit?
The whole point of the meme is that no one has a pancreas fetish, but apparently Yoro Sumino does.
Somebody took my joke. Telepathically. Somebody telepathically stole that from me.
Kimi no Suizo I fucking give up. I ain't going to be able to say that. So basically the plot follows. The tagline of the website reads, "The distance between two people still has no name other than let me eat your pancreas." No. Let's see how this looks. So the novel's story is told from the point of view of an unnamed protagonist who happens to find the diary in a hospital, blah, 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 blah. Basically, unnamed protagonist finds diary of a terminally ill girl who is his classmate. She has a disease eating her pancreas. She makes him swear to not tell anyone, and I think they get together or something. And so the title stems from him wishing to eat her pancreas to get rid of her illness.
Okay, now that I look at it into it's like some live action thing, it makes sense. I guess it's just like that title is just like, what? Have you?
I lost shit when I saw that title.
Did you listen to the Handshakers episode and get an idea there, buddy?
He's like, wait a minute.
That's how.
I'm still hoping that when it comes to the English dub, they'll change the name to Fairly Odd Pancreas.
Yeah, Pancreas is the name of the English version.
Let me eat your
pancreas. This is the world we're living in now. Everyone be real careful what you joke about.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, right?
I take it back. North Korea, bring on the nuclear weapons. We've reached the peak of humanity. It's time to go.
I'd argue
and
we
out
haven't
of
reached
nowhere,
the peak yet.
Senior Baby Hands saves us all. Mr. Tambourine Butt.
Senior Baby Hands freaking grabs a missile and his hands.
He's got tiny baby hands, so he can grab a missile without it exploding because he's not got that hard grip.
He can reach down and clip the right wire.
Yes.
Look, we're not doomed until a Nekomimi pastor starts telling us it's the end days.
I've promised myself I'm not going to do it this week.
Keep your mouth shut.
Well, thank you.
That's what you promised to yourself. You woke up the beginning of the week. You're like, I'm not doing it this week, man.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. Oh. It's not funny. I'm going to retire the joke. It's going to go. I'm not going to do it. Although I do really... Is it bad that I want to download VR chat for the sole purpose of getting some kind of priest anime avatar and just running around doing sermons on it?
I mean...
As the Nekomimi pastor?
See, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
Just start admonishing any kind of, any anime person that goes past. Just say some shit about them. But, yeah. Let me eat your pancreas, guys. That's a movie.
That's a marvel. I mean, like anything that we have to say after that, I don't know. Like they are making a Love Live Sunshine movie. That's predictable enough. They announced that like a while ago, but I just saw it now, and I could have guessed that. So I do hope that my dreams of Daya's mole in like Canada come true. But
you can really see all the hairs and stuff coming out of there on the Blu-ray release.
No, they
the
won't
detail they put into it.
They won't do the same thing with Muse. They're probably not going to take a trip anywhere like that. But if they do, they should go to Yellowknife. That'd be amazing. But in reality, it's probably just going to be like, oh shit, what even would it be? They ended their whole entire story arc. Well, they did the same thing with Muse as well, but then they still made a movie, so I don't know.
I mean, you can always invent plot out of your ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, they accomplished their goal, but they'll probably just be like, hey guys, let's do something else, and it'll be a whole thing like that. But anyways, I think now is the time. Well, actually, we'll just wait till Vacant comes back in case he had something else to say for news.
I'm back.
Okay, what do you got? Do you got anything else?
Yeah, only other little thing that I've got, really. That was the highlight. To be honest, it's been a slow news week, but Devilman Whiskey marks Go Nagai's 50th anniversary as a creator. There's some Devilman Whiskey coming out, which coincides with the Devilman Crybaby show. It was the word I was trying to look for then, like a retard. No offense to any retards out there. I'm sorry.
None taken. Hey, has anyone watched Devilman Crybaby yet?
No. Oh no, considering from last week, I'd not heard zero about it, aside from you singing its praises.
I've heard a whole lot about it since.
Now, now in this week,
yeah.
Holy fuck, people are talking about it being the anime of the year, anime of the decade, one of the best animes ever. And I was like, it's come out of nowhere, like that kind of burst of popularity. So I am more and more inclined to watch it. I probably will after I drop some of the winter shows, because there's probably going to be a couple.
Stuff like that makes me a dink. I'm like, yeah, now I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I've got that kind of hipster vibe. Like, I didn't watch Attack on Titan for years.
Damn it.
I mean,
I didn't watch Attack on Titan for years.
If Nair says it, that's okay, fine. But then if other people start saying it, I'm like, ah.
Yeah, when something's so new and people declare it one of the best things ever, I'm always like, no, don't come to me with that shit, because that's not true. Have you seen Lucky Star? Speaking of which,
that's
Manimal,
not of the decade though. That was before this decade.
Actually, I was going to bring something up to you, Manimal, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do something for next week and present it to you, and then we'll see your reaction.
Okay,
yeah?
Fine, I guess. Are you done with news now?
Yeah, news is done. Fuck news.
Yeah,
fuck news.
I guess we can get into the winter season shows. I got stuff to say this week.
Choo choo.
I mean, everyone does, but that's how it goes. So, winter season, we got. I think pretty much everything I'm gonna watch is out now and here basically. I'll start with Dagashi Kashi 2 because I don't know what happened to this show, but it was like they were like, hey guys, we have like no money, but we still want to make this series. So now it's
did they not change studios?
They might have changed studios. They probably did because it's like it's a half length now, number one, and the art doesn't look good at all. Like it's just a totally different style and everything, and it's just like, what happened to this series? This is like this is Dagashi Kashi the DLC or something like that, you know. This is like they were just like, let's make more, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. But it was like kind of a funny episode. In some ways the series would work better as a half length, you know, because it had problems as a full length.
That's really weird, no, to go from full length to half length. Yeah. Like that's quite jarring.
Usually if a series changes studios like Snafu, it becomes better. Well, except for Yuri Yuri, which became shit in the third season when it changed studios. But this one was odd. I didn't expect that. When I saw it was the half length, I'm like, oh no, what have they done? But it's not like it was that great of a series anyway. But it's still, you know, they're just doing their same old antics and stuff. And I found out that people really like Seiya's armpits. Apparently that's a thing as well.
Fuck's sake. Can everyone just move off the chuny armpits or armpits in general?
She's not a chuny, but that's apparently a thing. And I was like, okay.
Look, there's a whole wonderful world of armpit fetishes, so, you know, can't just restrict yourself to chuny.
Yeah, it's not just chuny as well. Seiya is like, she looks like she's from 2004, actually.
I mean, what are you going to do with an armpit? Let's be real.
Well, it's not, that's not the, well, there's a lot, Vacant, there's a whole other world, but we don't need to get into that. So instead, let's talk about Yuru Camp episode 2. This was actually a good episode, and I was like, maybe this series will be okay after all. Because, well, again, like I said, it's the Moe Girls hobby focus series, and I don't know, it's just like what do they even do? There's like a club, and then like the one girl is like going camping again, and she's like, yeah, I'm camping, and you're like, you sure are. But there's like a certain feel to this episode. There's a feel to this show that I like, because there are some shows that do a tone like this, and it's hard to describe, but I think it'll be an okay watch. Then Citrus episode 2 was pretty good also. Like, it feels like, you know, Citrus is a fast-paced manga, and the anime is also just as fast-paced as well. Slow? No. What do you mean? This wasn't slow at all.
Okay, pacing-wise, in terms of the time passing between events, it's quite fast-paced. But in terms of when they really focus on things, they turn up the dial to 11, and it. Okay, you finish what you've got to say about it, and then I'll have my 2 cents. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I thought they did things at a good pace. Again, they're expanding on a little more, and they're making they they're adding way more tension to all these scenes, and then you think about it, it's like, yeah, I guess that's how it was probably meant to be portrayed in the manga, but it feels different.
Yeah.
But again, I like what they're doing with the series. The voice acting, again, Azusa's voice actress is amazing. She also does good as Hotaru in Dagashi Kashi and as Yuzu. Like, she's fantastic. And I really like just Harmon's role in the series is really fun as well. And yeah, it was a good episode. It was another more citrus action.
Okay. My main issue with citrus, I don't like, now I know, because it's kind of hard for me to structure this opinion and word it correctly of what I'm trying to get across, because it's kind of hard for me to conjure it up in my brain of what I'm thinking. But basically, I don't like what they're doing with May, who's the other girl, the other love interest. So obviously they're sisters by marriage now. They're sister-in-laws, I guess, or whatever the fuck stepsisters is the word that I'm looking for. So they live together. May is sheltered, and the only thing... So she's always been sheltered away from everyone. Her grandfather's emotionally unavailable. He's cold towards her, so she's never really known love from him. Her father's never really been there, so I'm guessing that she doesn't see him often and doesn't know love from him. And her only experience of relationship is with a teacher who's several years older, who... I'm pretty certain they show it in the manga a little bit more. I don't know, because obviously I read it quickly when we did the manga swap, but...
They don't.
Okay, it's implied that he forces himself on her, he forcibly kisses her, he restrains her. It's implied that he basically assaults her in a way. He doesn't rape her, but it's implied that he's very overbearing and basically sexually assaults her.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go all the way, but it's there. It's uncomfortable. It's not, not right. And he abuses his position and abuses that he's older and they're betrothed and so on and so forth. So that's her only experience of relationship. That will obviously elicit a fear in her. And when Yuzu, is her name Yuzu?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuzu. When Yuzu does something and she wants to intimidate Yuzu, she then does the same thing. She'll then forcibly restrain her, forcibly kiss her, rip her shirt open or something. Like she tries to, and you can see where she's picked it up from. If you think about it, you're like, well, I guess she's picked that up from her abusive relationship, and she knows that elicits fear in her. She's trying to do that to control or to instill fear in Yuzu, the other girl. The problem with it is in the anime they really overemphasize it, and it goes on for a long time. The scenes, obviously in a manga, it's a couple of panels. Yeah. It's like maybe a page. It's several, maybe half a minute, 30 seconds or something in these kind of things. There's a lot of struggling, there's a lot of sound. So obviously in animation, it's a lot more impactful. Yeah. So they really turn the dial up with these scenes, but they don't turn the dial up with her interactions with her fiance. So you don't get that immediate connection between where she's picked this behavior up, this predatory behavior.
See,
in the anime, it kind of just looks like she's...
that before either.
Because it's implied, and if you think about it, you're like, yeah, I can see she's probably got it from him, and that's why she's doing it. But in the anime, it's sort of, you see the extreme reaction that she does, but you don't see the cause of that extreme reaction of why she's doing it. Because that's the whole point, is that it's not right, and the anime doesn't say, oh, it's fine. It doesn't fall into that trope of, this is wrong, but it's two girls, so it's okay, lol. It treats it as serious. It treats it as wrong, what she's doing, but you don't see where she gets it from. So it almost comes across as like, she's a bit fucking weird, and she's not very relatable, or you can't really elicit sympathy for her.
A lot of pent-up emotions. But see, I never thought about it from that angle. That makes sense, actually.
It's because I think it's because you've read the manga now, and you have that prerequisite knowledge going in.
And because we're looking at this at different perspectives, I think, me and you.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, I guess.
And I was looking expect something different out of the series.
Yeah, definitely. You know a lot more about it than me. You know the tone of it over a wider range of chapters as opposed to like the first 5 that I read or something.
See, what you're saying makes for a more interesting story, but at the end of the day, it's still a Yuri.
Yeah, I'm not Yuri expert. I'm sorry, but yeah, because I was just thinking, when the kissing scene with her and her fiance, the teacher, I would have thought they were going to do a thing where like he's grabbing her wrists against the wall, and then they mirror that with Yuzu later, and you sort of, you'd make that subconscious connection of where she's picked that up from. Before it's revealed, obviously she doesn't want to be like him. She doesn't want to turn into something like that. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
You are, but you're making it more interesting also.
Yeah.
But you're adding a whole other element to the series that takes away from the main dynamic here.
Of,
which is
girls,
just your reaction, basically.
But yeah. Still enjoyed it. That's the only gripe I've got, that I'm not a fan of.
That makes sense, though. That I never thought about that, though. It makes sense.
Yeah. But Yuzu, great character, fun. There's not, because it's not comedy, but there's enough. It's not oversaturated with jokes and dumb, gags. There's enough there that it's funny, but it's still taken somewhat serious as well. So it was good. I'm definitely going to carry on watching it.
Yeah. And then I think, Pop Team Epic episode 2. Well, I guess Coryn should talk about his thoughts on episode 1 first.
Yes, Coryn. Let's find out what you thought about episode 1 of Pop Team Epic. Can you?
Where do I begin? I like episode 1 of Pop Team Epic. Now the question I have is, are you supposed to watch both versions of it?
I mean, I don't, but
yes,
because there's the man version and the female version.
There is slightly different dialogue I've noticed between the two.
Yeah.
See, I thought there was, but I didn't watch it a couple times to really find out.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I did watch it a couple times, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's slightly different dialogue, but I don't think it deviates enough to warrant the second watch through, in my opinion.
I don't know. I just don't know if it's funnier that way or not. Because it's also very fast. It is funny they've done it. It's also very fast paced, so you kind of want to watch it maybe twice to get all the jokes in.
Yeah, in a way, if you watch it twice, because as soon as you watch it, you're like, okay, maybe I need to watch that again. So it kind of makes sense to have it that way. Because again, they do the same thing in episode 2, which I didn't know if they were going to do that or not. And if they do this throughout the whole series, that's better than if they just
They started with the female voices now.
Yeah.
They started with male voices.
In episode 2, no, sorry. In episode 2, they start with female and go to male.
Interesting.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep watching the full episodes just to see where it goes with it.
Okay.
I mean, I'd assume it'll probably do different things if it wants to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
They just mess with you and do a whole other different segment or something.
I mean, it is literally.
I read an article. I read an article this week about how they have. I'm pretty sure B Cub is the author. That's his pen name. Overseeing most of the show to the point where the director doesn't know what's going on.
I read the same. The director accepted the job to animate it and turn it into an anime before he'd even read the thing. And then when he says he read it, he regretted going in blind because he just thought it was going to be like a standard 4-coma.
Yeah, but it's not.
He was wrong.
That's what's good, because even episode 2 further stated for me that this is going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
Because episode 2 it still has the twists there. Again, well, there are more funny jokes in episode 2, I think, but they were just doing because it's like the series does all this stuff that you don't see coming at all. You don't see all of a sudden these like puppets to start doing a total alt idol song out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh shit, because this series has the alt idol attitude to it, that destructive kind of attitude, which is present in those groups like Bish and Psycho Mari and stuff like that. But it's an anime version of that. I'm like, oh shit, I love that kind of stuff, because it's a destructive attitude to the medium.
It's a shit post, as Nair put it last week. Shit post the anime.
And it does start with a fake idol anime.
Yeah, well, exactly, because there are elements of idol stuff, but there's elements. Episode 2 has like the whole game world thing in it as well, for a bit, and I think. Because it's probably not looking to go too deep into things and make this deep commentary or anything like that in terms of how anime is nowadays. I think it just has a good destructive mentality to things, which will make it fun.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's a sketch show. You know,
because it's the segments. The Australia segment in episode 2. Seen it.
Seen that.
Seen that.
Seen it.
Seen that. Don't like what dingoes. Don't like them.
I just loved.
And here we are in Machu Picchu. No, we're not. They didn't draw this one. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
I love the actual opening of this show though that they showed in episode 2 because it has these amazing segments of animation in it. Like,
it's so
the scene
dumb.
where the carpet is being vacuumed and it shows the one character
and it becomes her. Yeah, or like when they squeeze one of them out of a toothpaste and it's just like her eyes.
It's so cool and creative though. Like there's so
many playing hide and seek while one character morphs into the advertising ticker on the bottom of the screen. This is so unsettling.
This is exactly what's great about the series because it has this like unfiltered creative mindset to just do things like that. And with the xylophone that goes on forever. And just all the whole like Bob Team Epic parts as a whole.
I liked, because episode 2 had a lot less. Because episode 1 was just it was reference, fidget spinner, reference. You know, Pokemon, Totoro, Berserk, all that stuff. Skyrim, fucking all those things are just put in there.
God, the Skyrim reference took me so off guard.
It was so random.
I liked it because even though I haven't played Skyrim, I still knew what the reference was. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But it's not there for long. It's like 5 seconds and it's done. But you're just like, was that motherfucking Skyrim?
Basically.
The Pop Team Epic anime feels like a weird look into an alternate world where Adult Swim was Japanese.
I guess in a way.
This is some weird 12-ounce mouse Squidbillies bullshit.
That's
what's good though because I think that anime needs a show like this.
Yes, you've hit the nail on the head. I was going to say, it's one of those things, everyone is talking about it, for better or worse. People either like it or they can't get it. But the thing is, it's not a comedy masterpiece, but it's something that is so refreshing to see. Well, it's needed.
There's absolutely nothing like this that's aired in...
I'm pretty sure this is the peak of whatever this is going to get a couple more shitty imitations after this season, and then it's dead.
Could you imagine if A1 tries to make a show like this or something like that?
Trapped.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine a trapped in a fantasy world, but they're trapped in a Pop Team Epic world? It's just like a really generic Kirito-looking motherfucker.
I could totally imagine some really shitty light novel author trying to do something like this.
I'm trapped in a 4 coma. Lol, so random.
But I think
if Onaragaru was referenced.
Oh god, but it's actually I think it's necessary to have a series like this too, though. In the anime world, I think it's necessary that we have a show like this. And I mean, it's only episode 2, so we can't say as a whole, but it's just. One
I just
of those
like
things.
The humor comes off as so angry and frustrated.
Yeah, it's pissed off at something.
It feels so fresh.
That's what's good because
I love it.
It's again, it's that alt-idol spirit, and it also every joke, you said it perfectly. They're just pissed off at something. I love what
it's that edgy. It's that edgy YouTuber comedy kind, the filthy, not quite ratcheted up to the level of Filthy Frank, but that sort of, anti-humor almost.
In a way, yeah. But
then, I hope
then also there is Darling in the how do you say? You say Frank?
Darling in the Franks.
Frank.
Yeah, Darling in the Franks.
Darling in the Franks. Okay, basically, Trigger was like, we're going to make a show, and then somehow A1 barbecue sauce got splashed on the production, so you have all these great Trigger ideas, and all this great Trigger stuff, with this friggin' A1 shit main character, and everyone has A1 faces and stuff like that. You're like, no. It's who?
This is one of those things that I meant to watch earlier today, but then things kept happening. Well, nothing happened. I probably could have watched this while waiting for Dragon Ball FighterZ to give me a match.
Well, yeah,
but
I think I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, not really spoilers because not a whole lot happens.
No, it's just like a setup episode. It was a good episode, but that A1 touch is we don't need that shit in a Trigger show because Trigger, like, why would you even do this? Like, Trigger can freaking do a whole thing by themselves.
Maybe funding. Could have been funding,
but they have cool Trigger stuff with this freaking just boring. I didn't give a shit about this guy at all. So when the thing at the end happens, I was like, I don't even care. The girl's cool because she's like a Trigger character, but this.
What do you mean?
This guy's boring as shit.
The totally unexpected twist where they paired up at the end.
Well, yeah, that was obvious. I mean, it's like anyone could have saw that coming, but like again, they have cool Trigger ideas, but they just have this like just boring light novel twist on it. That's something that A1 would do. You know,
it was quite an interesting contrast because the female lead was very, as you say, it was almost as if the male lead's A1. And the female lead is Trigger Studio.
That's absolutely what it is.
She was unique. She had quirks, like personality quirks. Like she was, licking herself because she didn't like the taste of herself. She wanted to shower.
Like I like this idea of these characters who are like the weirdos, right? But the guy's not even that weird. He's just some freaking loser. You don't even give a shit about this guy.
He just failed at something.
Like
and then...
all he is just every boring lead there ever is. You know,
we didn't learn much about him. We didn't learn anything about him other than
if you go all the way back to Gurren Lagann, I guess you could say Simone. That sounds stupid when you say his name that way, but that's even how they say it in the dub. You know,
Simone.
He was just this friggin' kid, but there's something different about him as a character, and that's what they have at all these shows. But this guy didn't give a shit about him, so I didn't even care about the end. I was just like, oh, that's a super robot. That's cool. That's a Trigger thing.
Yeah.
All right. They're fighting big dinosaurs. The professor guy just freaking H.W. Bush to that girl. All right.
That was weird. That was a bit out of place, buddy. That was really out of place. That took me out of the anime. I was like, what the fuck?
With Daddy Bush. When it's like he just likes to make inappropriate jokes. So sorry about that.
I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. Like he just went, oh, I wish my seat was as soft as your ass. No, he went, as soft and as yielding as this. And then just like went in for a grab.
Something like that. It was like, okay.
Like, that's a bit weird.
Okay, but
I can't.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I watched it today, this morning before work, and I was thinking a lot of the day of what I was going to say on the show about it, because
that's what I thought when I was watching it too.
Not much happens, and I don't know. It was. I mean, I guess it's one of those shows where you have to watch. You have to give it the 3-episode rule, and you can form an opinion on it because stuff happened, but not a lot happened.
The only thing is, like, when you look at this main guy. Like, how can you find yourself giving a shit about this guy when he's just a piece of cardboard?
I will say...
Even in, like, Kiss Niver, the main guy at least had something going for him. If he was, like, boring as a person, he at least had
I'll give him a
chance.
I'll give him a chance. He had his little monologue about finding his partner, so let's see, because obviously there's going to be something interesting with him and the female. And we won't give spoilers, but there's a little thing that they implied between the two. So.
Just because there's a boring... like male lead in the show doesn't mean it's bad. Like again, Shakugan Oshana is like the perfect example of just everyday guy and superpowered girl and stuff like that. So it's not like that's inherently bad, but it just was interesting.
It briefly introduced a bunch of characters, so we'll like I say, once a couple of episodes are
24 episodes. So
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let it off then because I thought it was 12. Okay, I am more on board now.
I think it'll pull through somehow because I believe in Trigger. I don't believe in A1, but I believe in Trigger, so we'll see.
I forgive the pacing. That makes a lot more sense actually now if it's 24 episodes. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. Yeah, definitely will still carry on watching it. They could do something interesting with the character, the male lead. There's ways to go. It was like, as you say, it was very generic, very standard.
Well, even when the whole super robot thing happened at the end, I was like, I don't even care. Like I wasn't like, oh, that's a cool robot thing. I was like, okay.
don't understand why people like this. Is one I've seen blowing up on the internet a lot.
Well, it's
based off that one episode.
It's an obvious
trigger.
It's an obvious one to blow up on.
It's trigger, but based off that one episode, it hasn't shown much. But as you say, from the 20, because it's 24, you've got to give it a bit of time to get rolling.
There's a lot of space to do something, and I hope that they figure something out that it's interesting with this guy at least. Also, I don't like how they have friggin' JC staff rounded hair. That's like
that is what it is.
That's exactly what it is. That's a minor thing, but yeah, that's pretty much what.
There's been a couple designs with Trigger where they have like the blob kind of round hair.
There's a few.
That's true. No, I know. It's just I always find it weird.
It's weird to hear you describe the show where it's a collaboration, but you can still pick out individual parts from each team.
Yeah. So in a way,
like it hasn't blended into that single smooth. It's just
This is not smooth peanut butter. This is crunchy peanut butter that you've got going on here.
In a way, that dynamic is interesting when you take the most creative anime studio of the modern day with one of the most bland ones, and you put them together and see what happens.
Hey, A1 has made quality stuff.
Yeah, but
I can't name anything.
Yeah, Arrow Mongol Sensei. I know is the freaking the meter, the freaking meter of quality or whatever. But
it ranks at Ero Manga Sensei and a half. This one on the quality scale.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't just hate on A1 to hate on A1. It's just like their tendency to pick those like light novel kind of shows is what makes it seem like an
exactly
A1
what
thing.
you mean.
Like I like the Idolmaster, not so much Cinderella Girls. There was one character that looked exactly like Takane in this episode, but that's beyond that.
What else did you watch on, dude?
That's it. That's all I watched. I was gonna watch the Kyoto Animation one, but I didn't get around to it. If it's not on Crunchyroll, I feel lazy.
Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, because I'm like, I gotta connect my laptop to the TV. Oh.
It's on Netflix. Not for you guys in America, but it's on Netflix for us.
Well, whatever.
Well,
I just
only UK Netflix stepping up its game.
Oh shit! I just gotta hook up.
Let me tell you something, son.
laptop.
UK Netflix come through.
You know what? This time I'll give you that. I'll freaking give you your freaking stupid UK Netflix stepping up its game this time.
I'll talk about it in a minute. Coryn, Pop Team Epic we've gone through. What else have you watched this week?
Of this winter season, I watched the first episode of Junji Ito Collection. Which, anyone else watch that?
I watched it last week. How would you rate it?
I know that's hard to say because I don't really have anything to compare it to.
Would you give it a resounding meh?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I don't really know where the show's going, Rit.
No,
I guess.
No me.
So,
it is an anthology, so I'm assuming they're gonna.
It is. So I don't know if this is if this is just going to be the only time we see this particular little story, or what's going to happen.
Nair told me, and I think from the screen grabs I've seen of episode 2, is that there's more to this kid's story, but I guess maybe you'll have 2 episodes and then they'll move on. I don't know.
I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm interested enough to keep watching at the very least. It reminds me, watching it, of a lot of like, I don't know if you guys had it in the UK, but over in America we had Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is sort of a anthology collection of different kinds of moral-driven horror stories, generally.
Yeah.
Some are just straight up terrifying for no good goddamn reason,
Probably
but most of them have morals.
Goosebumps.
I was going to say Goosebumps is where it's at.
I mean,
but, you know.
These are very much
is closer in tone to what Spooky Kid's story is. Like Junji Ito comics have a structure to them where unsettling things are kind of happening all around, but the gotcha shot isn't till the end.
Yeah.
But Spooky Kid sucking on nails is just uncomfortable asshole.
Where curses are surprisingly real.
Focused on him.
Why he isn't in the circus though after that fucking stilt act, I don't know.
Like maybe he'll get to the point where he falls in love with the really nasty, funky looking horsewoman supermodel, and then we'll go on to her short story.
I didn't know Sarah Jessica Parker was in this.
Oh shit!
I mean, that's an easy joke to make, but
I went for the low hanging fruit.
There's a character in Young and Restless who also has the same kind of horse teeth. I don't know her name though.
No, we'll see. I mean, I'm just interested in enough to keep going.
I'm really hoping, because I've smashed through most of Uzumaki now, I'm really hoping that they do some of that. Oh, if they just did that as a series, I'd be interested. That'd be good.
Yeah, we shall see. But yeah, that's the only thing I've watched from the Winter series. Though outside of that, I did catch up to Dragon Ball Super, the dub.
Oh, did you? What episode is it on now?
I think episode 46 just aired last night. So I watched up to 45.
Sweet.
So I'm technically one episode behind, but it came out like midnight, so whatever. But yeah, I actually really liked it after it got off of just recapping the Resurrection F and Battle of Gods movies.
It's good once it gets past what it's already done.
Yeah. I mean, there was honestly the Resurrection F kind of saga in the show did at least do a little something different when they brought back Captain Ginyu. But
I mean, you gotta love the Ginyu Force.
Gotta love the Ginyu Force, even though he got obliterated pretty quickly. But he still had a little.
Do you guys remember the Ginyu song from like Kai or whatever?
The what?
No, please sing it for us now.
No, it was like da 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 da. It was like fuck. It was a really good song. I don't remember what it was called, how it went though.
You've lost me.
My favorite was Jace because he was Australian for no reason.
I liked his hair. That's basically where I'm at there.
There it is.
It is there. I don't know. I guess I've read up on the Black Clovers too, but Bacon's not here to talk about it, so it's not very helpful.
Oh yeah, do you guys even keep watching Black Clover, or did you just give up?
No, I'm just reading the manga.
Yeah.
I basically gave up on watching it.
Yeah, until once they get to the treasure cave arc thing, I'll give it a watch. But the first arc, I'm not massive, really enamored with, so I'm happy to wait until then.
Yeah, are you keeping up on the manga now?
Yes, I'm up to date now.
The fucking house is a person.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you read the latest chapter? Spoilers for Black Clover. Do you know how Black Clover and the Black Bull's base always moved about on its own? Yeah, that was a sickly guy.
Wait,
there's apparently there's a dude living in there.
No, his power is to control the house, basically. He can move the house freely. All the bricks and everything.
Building transformation magic. Or something like that. But he's like magically tied to that specific building, and he uses vampire powers on everyone inside, just like sucking their magic away to keep himself alive.
He explained he's got a curse on him where he can't leave the house, and he'll die if he doesn't take small bits of magical energy from people in the house. Does that make any sense? No. But it doesn't matter because it's a shonen side story.
And it's cool.
Wouldn't it be cool if they had a series where the house was a character?
I mean, yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle, the house was sort of a little bit of a character in itself.
No, go on.
But now
Who
the house
didn't love
is
Monster
moving.
House?
See, that's exactly what I was about to say. I was literally about to reference Monster House, so then I stopped myself. I'm happy that you did.
And we're worse off for it.
Yeah.
But the house turned into a giant mech. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
So it's not just a house that moves; it's a house that's also a mech. That's great.
Don't hurt my friends. Now have a taste of this giant building transformer.
Which is cool, but it's also nice that Gordon and Gray can now fucking speak like normal human beings.
Yeah. I'm enjoying that Gordon had something to do other than nothing
in the background. Gordon's actually really cool. Just let him do stuff.
He looks like Marilyn Manson. How could you not love a character like that? He's in a manga.
He's got a lot of potentially cool powers because he's got fucking incantation magic.
Yeah, he's like a poison hex or some bollocks. I don't know.
Something. It's
my
potential. There's lots of potential.
Still haven't seen a chapter from My Hero Academia for a couple of weeks. I'm waiting.
Waiting.
Yeah.
What did you watch then? There.
I watched a new Garrow, and I watched a Pop Team Epic, and a couple episodes of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with my wife out of nowhere. It was that or another couple episodes of Riverdale. And while I do enjoy making fun of that,
No.
yeah.
Why do they even make that show?
I mean, it's popular. My girlfriend watches
got the
it,
rights.
I mean,
I don't
like
get
Archie, like the Archie comic series is really good right now. Like the one they're doing, like where it's not like the digest format, but it's like it's more of a
the Mark
comic
Waid
format.
single issues.
Is
Is it Mark Waid who's writing that?
I have no idea, but it actually has a story. It's not like the old digest
because
comics.
teenagers don't want to watch. They don't want to read Archie. They want a dark, angsty reimagining of Archie.
You know, I feel
I'm
like
not
is
even
that the
convinced that true. I think middle-aged
Fiona
white women want
Staples
dark, angsty
Chip
Archie.
Zdarsky?
I feel like
I mean,
like
my-
Archie, like it's mostly like younger kids who would be the target
I was
audience
going to
for
say,
Archie.
it's so inoffensive. Like, I've never read it, and I've never really followed it, but, like, I've seen the dumb drawings. They're sort of like the Beano and Dandy and all that kind of stuff over here, and they're so
Yeah.
inoffensive. It's like if someone did a dark reimagining of fucking Dennis the Menace. was like,
Dennis
yeah.
the Menace, where he's
The
doing
British
Dennis
one,
evil
though.
shit.
Dennis the Menace is already its own dark reimagining. Let's be
kinda
honest.
is.
That kid
Wait,
is torturing the old
remember?
man next door.
Remember how they made it live action Dennis the Menace?
No, they
Oh,
did not.
yes,
Shut the
they
They
fuck
made
up.
a live action
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace movie. I think there was a sequel too.
I don't know,
No.
but I just remembered right
Yeah.
now that they made that.
It
Maybe
is
I got
important
touched
to
in the
mention
cinema
to
when
everyone
this stuff,
again
so I
that
can't
there is
remember
a British Dennis the Menace that is completely different from the American Dennis the Menace.
Is ours different? Wait, are you telling me that what I know as Dennis the Menace is not the same as what you know as Dennis the Menace?
Probably.
What the
Google it.
fuck?
Wait, are you
Right.
serious? Hold on. Wait,
Does-
when you think of Dennis the Menace, what do you think about?
Okay, black hair, red and black striped jumper. He has a little stupid
Oh
dog.
god, no.
Oh
No,
my
it's the blonde
god.
kid with red overalls shitting on Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
He messes with his neighbor. He like does shit to mess with his neighbor. I can't remember, and his neighbor fights
Yeah,
back.
I'm
What?
looking at it
What
side
is
by
this?
side. So
What is- I
this
just-
is our Dennis the Menace.
I just looked up Dennis the Menace British, and I'm like, what the shit? This is like a Sesame Street looking character.
I didn't know that this was different. What the fuck is going on? What is wrong with your Dennis the
What
Menace?
is wrong
What's
with your
wrong with
Dennis
your
the Menace?
Dennis
He look-
the Menace?
he
No,
looks
look, you're
I don't
Dennis
want
the
to say
Menace.
they started like a month apart from each other, completely differently.
But this kid looks like a freaking Muppet though, like the British.
Shut the
one.
fuck up. Our Dennis the Menace has a
Does look
fucking
like a
slingshot. He has a little cheeky
Ours
dog
has
with
a
him.
slingshot.
Fuck
and a
your
dog.
slingshot.
Yep.
Fuck your dog.
This
No,
is so...
fuck you.
I love
Your
that
dog
we
looked
just-
like a hedgehog.
I love. That we were...
Oh, you
No,
take that back
yep.
right now.
I love that we were just talking about Dennis the Menace like it was the same thing, and then all of a sudden we realized it was something different.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God,
know
that's
this
so-
was a thing.
Neither did I.
Why is there a
Da-da.
different Dennis the Menace?
That's exactly
Dennis the
same
Menace,
thing that I
pictured
think.
below, started on March 17th, 1951, 5 days after the U.S. version in Beano, a children's comic book.
That,
So wait, we won.
This is insane.
that's
They
on the
came
Dennis
out
and Menace
5
race?
days apart from each other. Completely different things.
I love that
This
we
is
could-
like there's a lot of this happens throughout history. It's like 5 dudes at the same time invented the telephone, but Graham Bell made it to the patent office
I was
first.
going to say, because this is old enough where if it was 5 days apart in the US and the UK, they have no way of knowing. Like,
No.
unless.
Especially in 1950, they weren't like on the internet, you know.
I was going to say, it's
But-
not like he saw it on Tumblr and went, I'm
How can
janking that.
How can they both be called Dennis the Menace though?
Was there an earlier property these are both based off of?
Nope.
This
I
is
mean,
so weird.
When you look at it, like Dennis the Menace, like our version, he looks like it looks like it's I don't know. When I look at your Dennis the Menace, it doesn't look like a Brit to me. But
He's a cartoon. I don't know. I thought it was American. Fuck me. I can't remember. You have totally blanked my head now. I cannot remember anime anymore of what I've watched
I
because
know
you've
this
just
is like
destroyed.
this is
Dennis
such
the
a
Menace.
shocking revelation.
This is much more important.
This is like
Yeah,
this.
fuck
No,
no
no, but
parentheses.
this is funny because it's not like chips and crisps. Like this is genuinely shocking for both of us.
Like
So-
they
What is
both
going
they
on?
both seem to have a friend who doesn't have any hair for some good no goddamn
This is
reason.
freaking Caillou.
They have
What's going on?
similar. They both have striped shirts, but one's red and one's blue.
How could this have been so the same but different?
I don't know. Are they like long lost twins?
I'm glad I could have enlightened you both.
I had no idea there was a different Dennis the Menace lurking around other than the little black-haired cunt that I knew.
Same. What was the Game Grumps thing of Dennis the Menace? It was like, get out of here. I don't know. I don't remember this.
I don't know.
But that
anyway,
you can't just anyway at this. This is like the beef of the episode right here.
Let's move Dennis the Menace. Let's scoot him over to the corner and let's get right back onto the winter season because I've got some shows that I watched.
Okay.
The floor is yours, Mr. Senator.
I was just having
I was watching a British episode of The Simpsons. Everyone knows that blue-skinned family.
Well, let me tell you something, folks. Oh, I was absolutely rather enjoying a lovely little bit of the Smurfs. They were great. There's Mr. Smurf, Mrs. Smurf, Papa Smurf, and they're all great. I don't know what this accent was. Don't know what that was, but let's carry on.
What region is that from?
But younger.
Yeah. Oh, they're all, Papa, can I please have 20 pence so I can go and get a mini milk from the shop, please? Good old, that's what Rebel Vacant did. When I was 6, Manimal, because you love shit stories, like Digibro going to get Mountain Dew because he likes Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that was a good
when
story.
I was 6, found 20p on the floor in the front garden. I snuck off out the front gate, went to the corner shop, bought a little mini milk ice lolly, walked back on my own.
Yeah, but see, there's nothing there's no beef to that story. There's a beef to the story about Mountain Dew because he was
shut the fuck up.
He was skateboarding home. He was skateboarding home with Mountain Dew.
No, he wasn't skateboarding. He was roller skating because, and you know how I know this? Because I fucking listened to that episode today, 2 hours ago. I listened to it at work. I was listening to that shit, and because I wanted to know why it was funny. And do you know what it is? It's 10 minutes of Digibro saying, yeah, I think it was 2008, 2009 when I really liked Mountain Dew. I think it was. Was it? I think it was. My parents they bought us Mountain Dew a lot. And it's just that. That's all it is. That's all
fucking riveting.
You don't
fucking
get it. You don't get
shit.
You don't get my you don't get it.
He says they left us $100 for groceries, and yet we didn't have a car. What were we supposed to do? Walk, motherfucker! Get a taxi! Get a bus, you dumb shit!
Anyway, that's not the point.
He's 17. He has the mental capacity to think of the. All right. Anyway, getting off track. Right.
I love that you actually had to listen to it though, just to see what I was talking about.
I did. So we've mentioned Citrus, we've mentioned Junji Ito, we've mentioned Pop Team Epic. I watched something called Gaku and Babysitters.
Oh shit! Good old is the beef. You promised us last week.
So I watched it, and the best way to describe it is 99% fluff, cutesy fluff, shoujo-esque style, light-hearted comedy and moments, with 1% fucking dealing with your parents' death. So the premise is very simple. We have our main protagonist and his toddler brother. Their parents died in a plane crash. They were adventurers or some bollocks. I don't know. They basically died in a plane crash. So the story is that they now have been taking the care of a woman who I think's their grandmother. It's kind of implied, but she doesn't say that in the beginning. Like they say they're not related, but it's basically implied that they are. Because she attended the same funeral and everything. She offered them a place to stay in her prestigious academy because she's also like a headmistress of a big school. Providing that because she knows he has good experience with looking after his baby brother, providing that he looks after the babies of the school teachers. And there's what's called a babysitting club. No one works there other than the part-time carer who actually gets paid. He's an adult. He's the first school member there. And they look after the teachers' kids, basically. So it's very simple premise. Nice and simple. You get your little cute anime kids, the little babies playing and all that kind of stuff. And there's a little cute girl, and he's all really like dead nonchalant, and like he's like, "Oh, thank you very much." Like, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your parents died. Well, you go and fuck off over there." He's like, "Okay, thank you."
Hey, Vacant.
Yeah.
Did the theme song go do 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 do?
It doesn't. But that is like the first 15 minutes is just that. And then his little brother, because he's playing with other kids, his little brother gets ill, but he doesn't want to disturb him because he doesn't want to bother his older brother. So he gets ill and he passes out, basically.
When you say gets ill, what do you mean? Clarify.
He has a cold. He passes out. So
from a cold?
Well, he's got some. I don't fucking know.
He's got convenient sibling anime disease.
Yeah, he falls ill. He's got flu or some bollocks, but because he didn't bother him for any treatment, he just feels really ill and lightheaded and faints. So he panics. He takes him to the hospital. His little baby brother. And this is when it suddenly turns from like a fluff show of nothing to he gets his phone out and starts calling his dad. But then he just stops as he's there outside the hospital. And he's like talking about, he's like, that's the moment I realized that no matter how long this call went, my dad will never answer the phone. And then he just starts breaking down and crying. And I was not prepared for that in this show.
That's so fucked up.
It was just that moment where he goes, I just realized no matter how long this phone call, he's never going to pick up again. And I was like, wait, what? And then he just starts crying and he breaks down. And it just shows how, like, ever since the death happened, he hasn't shed a tear. He didn't. And the grandmother comes then and she sort of consoles him and comforts him and says, now that you've actually accepted it, you can start to move on and look at what's important and all that bollocks. Because she was at the funeral. She went to the funeral and said it was weird that they were the only two people in the entire funeral who weren't crying. So she knew that they hadn't, like, it hadn't sunk in, or they were like suppressing their emotion towards it. And it was just that moment of like, fuck, that was pretty damn real compared to the rest of this stupid, fluffy, cutesy show. So I kind of liked that part. I liked how it totally caught me off base for that last 5 minutes of the show. So I am definitely going to watch episode 2.
Let it be known that Vacant likes it when children cry.
He was a teenager, not the toddler. He's the older brother who's crying about it.
All I hear is that you like children crying. It's okay.
Children cry.
It's on permanent record now. The internet doesn't forget.
Let them know we tried.
Yeah, I will watch that. I think it's probably going to do the same again. That's probably going to be the formula. It is comedy, cutesy, light-hearted, shoujo-esque action, sprinkled with a little bit of the serious, acceptance and learning to move on.
That's kind of something you only play once, though.
Their parents were going to die every episode.
Every episode, there's a new way.
Like
every episode, another parent dies.
Oh my god!
It's actually a serial killer, like whodunit.
I don't think he's just.
We got
Dennis
fresh
the Menace
every week here. Come on down, fresh orphans.
I don't think he's just accepted that, like, his parents are like, you're not going to just move on and just go, right, I've had a cry about it now. Let's move on. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I had a little cry. Now I'm okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm all right now. It's fine. But yeah, that was Gecko and Babysitters. We'll watch it again, see how it is.
That's actually
see what the
kind
next
of funny
episode.
because when you first mention it, it's like, what was a stupid piece of shit gonna be? But then it has this plot twist that you say.
It literally, because it comes right at the end of it, and the style, the animation style, and everything just does not let you. And then you go, "Oh fuck!" That's like, because you can imagine that moment, can't you? Of just, oh shit, and how they play it like completely straight. It's like, wow, I wasn't thinking that. Next thing I watched was Kokoku. This is the one, if you guys remember, the one with the time-stopping stone that the grandpa has. Old Gigi has that little time-stopping stone. And when we mentioned earlier, we were sort of saying about, like, the first episode where stuff happens, but not a lot happens. Like, not a lot is explained or established. So, main character is a girl. She lives at home with her parents and her grandpa, and her sister has a kid, and their boyfriend disappeared, and all this kind of shit. She's trying to get a job. She wants to move into the city because they're kind of poor. Her father and brother are neats. They stay at home. They don't do anything. Her brother and her nephew get kidnapped and are asked for a ransom. Obviously, they're poor. They don't have any money. So then the grandpa just goes, okay, everyone shut the fuck up, give me that knife, cuts his hand, and pours blood into a stone and stops time and just sort of says, yeah, you know, we have this. Do you remember? And then the girl has some flashbacks of like when she remembers the stone stopping time. And it's really weird because it's just like she would have known this. Like that would stick in my memory. Like I remember the first WrestleMania I watched, and that's not as important as time standing still.
Oh, you don't remember when you're freaking grandpa? You know, does your grandpa just cuts his hand and stops time?
It was weird. And they kind of, I've got to appreciate, do you know when there's something like that happens, the dad starts asking the granddad, he's like, okay, well, if water stopped, how are we able to breathe? How is air able to move and all this? And then the grandpa's just like, do you expect me to give a scientific answer? I don't know. And then that's it. They don't mention any other physics about it. And I was like, I appreciate that.
That's the best way to address magic time travel, though. Just fuck it. I don't know. It does.
He's like, well, how come if they've stopped in the air and the air's static, how are we able to breathe? He's like, expect me to give a sign to it? I don't know. I was like, I respect that from the show of just going, fuck it, it works.
That's cool, actually.
And then, but then the grandpa starts saying about how, because they were like, well, why have you never mentioned this or brought this up before? And he's like, anyone who enters this world, he doesn't know how it works. He got given it by his grandpa, but anyone who enters the world eventually succumbs to their own impulses. They'll start stealing money out the wallets of people close to them. They'll start peeping on women. They will be depraved because there's obviously no laws in this, you know, now static world, and they'll be consumed by them, which I assume that might be the demons that exist, because you see these little sort of demon creatures running around. They're not little, they're huge, but, you know, they run around in this world. So I'm assuming they're like the souls of these people who've been consumed by this Kronos world. But they get to there, they rescue the nephew and the brother, but as soon as they get outside, there's a bunch of people who aren't static, and they just beat them the fuck out of them, like literally like with a metal pole, just twatting the dad. I'm assuming he's dead now, because the grandpa picked up the daughter, like the granddaughter. He didn't go back for his son, he fucked him off. And they like, the grandpa can teleport as well for some reason. Don't know why, you can just teleport. And then that's where the episode ends. And I don't know what's going on. I need to watch the next episode.
A lot of things.
It's so confusing, because I was like, okay, you've given me all these things. What? Why can't they move? What's this monster? Why can he teleport? But that's Kokohaku. Next one I watched, UK Netflix stepping up that game, yo. Simul-dubbed Violet Evergarden. So not only was it put on Netflix on January 11th, it was also simul-dubbed, which is very interesting. I watched it in the English dub. It was a fine dub. It was okay. Visually, we'll get the obvious out of the way. It's Kyoani. It's stunning. It looks really nice. It really, really pretty, yo. In terms of what it is, again, I don't know. She's I thought she was a robot, the girl. Apparently she's not. She's just got robot arms or robot hands. But she's basically been raised as a soldier since a child, and now the war is over. She sort of doesn't know what to do. She just... the major who she served was like her father figure, and now he's not there, and it's pretty obvious that he's actually dead, because he gave her like her last order to be free and all this kind of shit, and told her he loved her, and she didn't know what it meant. So now she's just trying to figure out how to live. It's weird, because there's not really a clear-cut goal or destination in mind, but it was beautiful, and it was nice, so I will watch that. Everyone's been raving about that one. Every fucker's raved about Violet Evergarden, but again, you're going to have to see story-wise where it goes, because there wasn't... Like, I liked the dialogue. The characters were nice. They were, you know, made good impressions.
Yeah,
story-wise,
okay, we did. But was there boob limbo?
There was some under boob, but there wasn't boob limbo. A few seconds of under boob. That's all you got out of this one. It was quite reserved. So that was nice.
I would say never forget Phantom World, but that's one of the only memorable parts of Phantom World. Besides Kirby Mouth Girl.
I did watch Darling of Franks. We went through that earlier. Didn't see Takonomi and Killing Bites because couldn't find Takonomi somewhere. And Killing Bites, let's be honest, it's going to be a pile of garbage, so we'll leave that till next week.
But that Tom definition.
The last thing I saw, which was pleasantly surprising, and I enjoyed the first episode more than I thought I would, was Hakata Tonkatsu Ramen. This was
Wait, is that the one with the weird girl likes ramen?
No, that's... I think it's, whatever it's called, Loves Ramen.
I forgot because there's 2 freaking ramen series this season for some reason.
And to make it more confusing, Crunchyroll added another series that has ramen in its name. Now, like, just added the back catalogue in, which is helpful when you're trying to find this one. But I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought it was. This was the one with the really jazzy soundtrack in the trailer and the really stylized, like, CG heavy trailer. But
is it like Big Order style jazz?
I don't know because I've not watched Big Order, but it was good. So, in a nutshell, to sum up the story, we're following a detective, and it's in a city where 3% of the population are hitmen. And it's a very common practice, hitmen are everywhere. Politicians have hitmen for hire and all that kind of shit. And he's trying to just go about some cases. Someone puts a hitman on him, which is a cross-dressing character. I was going to say a trap, but he's not a trap because he has a male voice. And it's a female character design, but it's a male voice. And he just says, I'm a cross-dresser. This is my hobby. And that's all he says. So he's not technically a trap, is he? If he's got a male voice.
Well,
I don't know what the specifics are.
That's not. Well, if he just says he likes to just dress like that, I guess he's not dedicated to the trap lifestyle.
Yeah, I like how they frame it as a hobby.
Yeah,
like no, this is what I do on the weekends,
It's what I do on the weekends, like anyone else.
I think he actually says that. He says something on the weekend. I think he does. Because
it was either this or Uber, and just want to get out of the house.
He literally says, because he's an assassin, the crossdresser, and he kills someone, and then, like, right in the first 5 minutes, you see him killing somebody, and then it's like, oh, you're a coward who dresses like a woman to get to me, and he's like, I'm not a woman, this is just a hobby, I like cross-dressing.
Okay. That's not a trap character, then.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got that clarification, but it was fun. Like I say, I like the character designs that are in there. The soundtrack was nice. It set up some interesting things because they kept alluding to this hitman who kills hitmen. And this detective, the end of the episode culminated in basically the crossdresser was he was assigned to kill the detective. He comes over and he decides, actually, I'll probably get more money if I protect this detective. He's probably got access to a lot more funds. So he just says, I've been hired to kill you, but I'm here to protect you instead. And then that's where the episode ends. So I want to see where this goes because it should be interesting. So I would recommend that if you're after it kind of action-y, sort of, detective-esque show. But that's all for this week. Like I say, unfortunately, Killing Bites, Takonomi didn't get to catch. Junji Ito episode 2 I didn't see. Not
Killing Bites! Oh, shit! Okay, so I looked that up. I read, like, the first... I'm sorry. I read like the first 30 chapters of that.
What?
Like, I don't know, years and years and years ago. It was one of those things where, the honey badger don't give a shit meme was at its peak. And somebody like linked me to, hey, you should read this honey badger manga. It's got a honey badger girl. And I was like, all right, that's not exclusively, it's not furry, but, close enough. I don't know why. It is really shitty. It's dumb. I couldn't remember why I remembered it, but oh man, it's the dumbest thing. It's real bad.
Are you gonna watch it?
Maybe. If it is as dumb as I remember, just it has meme powers of I'm the lion person. I'm gonna kill you, honey badger. What do you have? And the answer is I don't have any fear. So I'm like, okay, this is a weird Daredevil twist. No, she just gets like stabbed in the chest and goes, I still don't care about that, and keeps attacking. It's so dumb.
Welcome to 2010.
Basically,
it was later than that. But that was a 2011 meme? 2012?
It was at least
early
2012. I want to say.
It might well be 2010. That's old school shit.
That's like Ray William. That's Ray William Johnson era.
Well, I will make sure to watch Killing Bites for next week's episode so we can talk about it. I'm not dropping anything yet. I will watch.
January 2011 was the debut. There it is.
There it is.
Oof.
There you go. But I think that's the end of our.
If you want to watch that, I will go on that trip with you. Just get ready for a dumb tournament on a stupid island full of animal people and like fan service. Okay, but everything else was just needlessly edgy. I think the translation I got was also the people who needed to add in an extra like Tarantino level of language.
I like them ones when you got Naruto characters saying like "fuck you, you fucking prick."
Reminds me of the last days of the Bleach manga, where suddenly Ichigo could say "fuck."
Wait,
suddenly Ichigo is going, "You fucking piece of shit."
Did he say that?
It's like, not officially, but in the fan subs, they.
Whoever was like really putting out the last fan subs of Bleach, it was little mouth on those guys.
Go for it. Yeah, that's the end of the winter season for this week, and I believe that's the end of the episode. Unless you guys have got any other parting shots for us before we head out.
We've been going on a while.
Okay, well, we will see you for the last week of January or something like that. I don't know. But before we go, Manimal, third week in a row, have you got a story for us?
Oh, shit, my stupid story. Okay, well, the point is that I improvise it as I type it as I say it. So here we go for the 100th time.
Wow, guys.
The night had fallen to the city. Everyone was silent as the rain hit the walls and reflected to puddles. "Ah," said the Chuny, as she took heed. It was not the right time. The rain had dampened the city. For too long it had fallen. It was another night, but not like the ones previous. In the cycle, never ending, there is a twist. But
let's
we
end
never
this cycle.
Ever see it. The Chuny knows as she takes another puff of her Cuban before lighting another. "I have business," she said as she walked out the door. In the middle of it all, she left the smell of the Cuban still in the air, still like the city as the rain poured.
And scene.